Coming up on this week's Trillionaire Mindset, we have Getir in talks to Buy Flink.
Oh my God, the banking scare continues with banks collapsing left and right.
Carl Icahn accused of fraud by Hindenburg.
Oh baby, it's a mess. Joe Byron, Dark Brandon, makes it official. He's running for president again. God bless America.
And the Godfather of AI is leaving Google.
Where's he going? What's he doing? Find out.
Only on this week's Trillionaire Mindset.
Welcome back to Monkey at the Beat Man. Kramer, when I get done with you. Yeah.
Are you ready for a Trillionaire Mindset?
Fill me up, Arrow. Bitcoin solves this. Bitcoin 100,000.
Oh, you guys just missed it. We were just having the funniest time right before the episode started.
Oh yeah, maybe a little more in the cans.
A little more. The cans. That's
okay. Oh,
that's professional lingo for headphones.
I think I found a nice level. I think I found a level I really like here.
Okay. Hey, let's get it out of the way, you big slut, Steve Sluts. Get that disclaimer out. Check
it right now so you can get to enjoying the show.
TraderTreehouse.com. Credit card website is coming soon.
Incoming.
It's coming.
Incoming.
I need to get the people to approve it, and then it's good to go. And then we went live yesterday.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna go live today, but
for you guys,
it'll have happened already.
So go back and watch it.
Yeah, and if you're one of those people, because there was a guy who DM'd me and said, "Will it be recorded?" Brother, we've done like 4 of these by now, and they are on the YouTube channel. I implore you to take a moment and just
look.
Yeah, tinker around. You can look. It's not going to kill you. But yes, it gets recorded and posted.
Oh, we should also say go check out, if you haven't seen it yet, we did an episode of Perfect Person Pod.
Right. Yes. So I'm not going to tell you how to do that. You're just going to have to find that. I believe in you. I think you can find it.
Yeah, if you search Perfect Person Pod.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll come up, I bet.
Yes, it will come up. Yeah.
But me and Ben, we took some calls. We gave some advice.
Yes, we did. I think it was
and
good
it
advice.
might be something you'd enjoy watching.
Yeah, that guy, he was a really good podcast host.
Oh, he's great. Miles?
Yeah, Miles. And his counterpart, Kilometer, was pretty good too. Thank you, Luke. Oh, man. Did you hear the huge news?
Are we going to get right into it? We're going to get right into it right off the bat.
Guys, Getir.
Yeah, can we pull this up?
Yeah, holy fucking shit. I can't believe that this is happening. This Turkish delivery startup Getir is in talks to buy Flink,
which is huge.
Whoa! And if you didn't know already, here, scroll down, please, because there's we know that. Where is it? Fuck. God damn it! Oh yeah, because we had this already when because in May of 2022, as we all know, Flink acquired Kaju.
Right, exactly. And London-based Wheezy. And Spain's Block. I think there was an acquisition from Berlin-based delivery startup Gorillas.
Yeah, that's right. So, eager to see if Getir and Floozy, what's it called?
Flink. We're wishing them all the best.
Yeah.
Flink acquired Kaju.
Yeah, but
Gorillas acquired Wheezy and Block.
Yeah, but now it looks like Getir's getting in there.
Yeah.
With this new Flink acquisition. They're just making this shit up now.
I do have to say I hate this. This is the Motley Fool.
Yeah.
It's the whole website is like, even the shortest lived mayflies got nothing on. God damn it! How did we just get locked out?
What? Oh, well, that's because their whole website is just one big paywall.
But we were reading it.
New stock picks each month.
Oh, there we go.
Wait, what does the headline say?
Go up
at the top. Even
the shortest lived mayflies got nothing on instant grocery startups.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, because over there's a bunch of, don't worry, we're not getting into this boring shit with grocery delivery crap. I just thought it was a funny headline.
Berlin-based startup.
Berlin-based.
Flink.
Yeah. It just feels like a fake headline. It's also just. Did you remember that there was a couple German? I think they were German entrepreneurs who just would clone American companies and recreate them over in Europe. It was
That
like a
makes
whole.
sense. I just got back and they have all.
Did you see Flink?
No, but I saw like Deliveroo
Oh yeah, well
And,
Deliveroo is a big one. Yeah,
here.
just over there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it's basically like Uber Eats or Seamless.
Yeah,
or-
it's all the same shit.
Yeah.
But this German-based company it was so smart. Like in 2009 or 2010 I think they did it with eBay, I want to say, or Etsy or something. And then they did it with Uber and a bunch of shit. And they just immediately, it was super successful. So smart. Oh God, those guys, man.
Damn.
We got to start a
We got to move to
grocery-
Berlin.
Mm.
I don't know if I could take all the late night dancing though.
Yeah. I remember going to where Michael Jackson dangled his baby off the balcony. That
You
was
went?
in Berlin. Yeah. Me and my good friend Bo went, and
And you were like, so that's where it all happened.
well, no, he knew
Wasn't
a
it just
guy.
a hotel?
Yes, but he knew a guy there, and the guy took us there, and he goes, that's where Michael Jackson dangled his baby off of the thing right there." And we were like, "Oh yeah, well,
Wow.
yeah, right there." For those of you who don't know, Michael Jackson dangled his baby off of a balcony of a hotel in Berlin, and it caused quite a stir at the time.
Hmm.
He fully it looked like he was going to drop the baby.
He puts it over the.
Was it
Balcony.
Blanket? Wasn't that the kid's name? Why are you laughing? That's Michael Jackson's kid's name.
I know. I just forgot it was blanket.
Yeah, Michael Jackson. There he is. Hey, everyone.
It actually doesn't look that crazy. I guess it's.
No, yeah.
No, that's actually
Did dangle
quite
the
scary.
baby. Yeah. Oh, Paris was one of the kids' names, and then Blanket was another. I'm surprised he didn't have a kid named like Cookies and Milk.
He might have.
The guy was obsessed with cookies and milk.
Was he?
Yeah. I mean, all those interviews, he'd always talk about giving children cookies and milk in bed.
Ew, I don't like that.
All right. If Michael Jackson offered you $10 million to,
For a little cookies and milk in bed?
no, for your kid to go over there, and
Oh, I would do it. I wouldn't let my kid do it.
you'd go over and hang out with him?
I'd say, son, you stay here. I'd put on his clothes and pretend. I'd say, Mr. Jackson, thank you for having me over. I'm so excited to eat these milk and cookies.
Yeah. Do you think that
And
he
I'd say, do you have any spilt?
spilt?
For that joke to land, it requires you having a memory.
Do you know what spilt? What is spilt?
We talked about it on the show.
You've got to be fucking kidding me. Wait. Oh, yeah. No. Spilt is the energy milk.
Yeah.
Okay. Whew. You're not getting me yet. We were talking yesterday. We were going over the outline for the show, and I was like, "Hey, have we talked about whatever the fuck it was?"
No, you were like,
yes.
you were like, have you seen this TikTok? It's so funny. And it was describing, and I was like, dude, we talked about this on the show.
What was it?
It was the AI tricking people into.
Oh
doing
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
for it.
Doing the captcha.
Yeah.
Don't worry, gang. I'm still here. I know enough. I do worry though. I do worry.
We all worry.
Fuck. Nah, my brain is totally fine. The other big news was that Elon, and everybody's been DMing me about it, is that Elon Musk finally took my idea and is doing a la carte articles. So you don't have to.
Is he going to do it, or is he doing it, or did he say he's going to do it, and it probably won't?
There is a
happen?
big difference. I think that he's going to do it.
But are all the media companies getting on board with this? And
I have no idea.
okay, I don't think he's. We'll see.
Because normally you go click on an article by the New York Times or whatever, and you've got to subscribe to see it. But people don't want to subscribe. But they might be more inclined to just buy the article a one-off for $1. And that's exactly what my idea was that I've been talking about for years.
Well, he didn't say it's going to cost $1. We don't know how much it's going to cost.
Oh, I thought he said 99 cents.
Oh, 99 cents?
I don't know. That's just in my brain. Maybe that's because that's my idea.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Because
don't
that
know if
is
he
my
said
idea.
99 cents.
Fuck, I should have said patent pending when I talked about it. That way he couldn't steal it.
I still think it's a bad idea.
You think, okay, why do you think it's a bad idea?
I'm going to put my credit card in every time I want to read an article.
You don't have to put your credit card in. You've got Apple Pay. You just double tap.
What if I'm on web?
You're always on web, dude.
What if I'm on a web browser?
Then you don't have like the automatic thing where you just scan your fingerprint?
Dude, I do, but like that feels like I'm just fucking fingerprinting ads every time. Articles.
Yeah, well,
I'd much rather. I read so many articles. I'd probably just pay for the fucking. It'd be more cost effective.
we also just use the Firefox.
No, you don't.
Can we not say that? You can't say that?
We could, but
I mean, I don't think it's the right thing to do.
They can take it, man. They can. The New York Times and all those shit, they can handle it, right? I didn't say anything. There's not any kind of extension or plugin for certain browsers that allow you to bypass paywalls. It's not like those exist. That's kind of fucked up. Why would anybody invent that, let alone use it? Damn. Anyway, hey everybody, we want to take a quick break to thank another sponsor of today's episode, Sunday. You know, I love when the weather starts to warm up. Slap on those shorts,
Oh, boy.
wear my sandals, getting out in the yard and digging in the garden. It's one of my favorite parts of spring, and Sunday lawn care makes it easier than ever to enjoy.
Sunday is everything you need to get the lawn you've dreamed of. This spring, go to getsunday.com/trill and enter your address to get a customized plan created just for your lawn. No trips to the store or hauling heavy bags since they ship straight to your home. You just need a hose to apply Sunday. You can fertilize your whole lawn in less time than it takes to watch an episode of your favorite TV show.
And they only use ingredients you can feel good about. No harsh chemicals, no long waiting periods, or trying to keep your kids and pets off the lawn. Simply apply, let it dry, and you're back to enjoying your lawn. Sunday is easy and affordable. Some lawn care services cost more than $1,500 a year, but not Sunday. Their full season plans start at just $109.
And get ready for this, okay? For a limited time, Sunday is offering our listeners 50% off your first box. So you can get started today for as little as $55 when you go to getsunday.com/trill at checkout. That's 50% off your first box at getsunday.com/trill.
Damn, we got a whole ass episode
We do have
today,
a whole
don't
episode. A whole ass
Yeah.
episode. Today we're talking about the rear end of a human.
we? There's a lot going on there. Arguably the best part of the human, the rear end. Very versatile. Anyway,
What do we really want to talk about? We want to talk about the continuing bank scare.
Ah!
That actually did scare me a little bit.
Yeah, that's the bank.
And that's a metaphor for what's going on in the banking industry.
First Republic was, I think it was, when was it? Sunday night went under?
Yeah, it was over the weekend.
Over the weekend?
Because by Monday, 84 branches of First Republic were turned
Got
into
caught on fire. Oh,
JP Morgan Chases.
yep. And they bought up all their assets. And guess what happened to all the other regional bank stocks?
They tanked. But
They
so
tanked.
first, this is it's a similar thing to SVB, Silicon Valley Bank. They've been in trouble ever since the Silicon Valley Bank stuff happened.
Mhm.
And then it was $100 billion in deposits in quarter one that customers withdrew. Yeah.
Out of First Republic?
Mm-hmm.
Holy fucking shit.
And so they're saying a lot of these deposits are much like the deposits in Silicon Valley Bank, where they were above the $250,000 threshold for FDIC
Insurance.
guarantee. Yeah. And so they're pulling it out and putting it in bigger banking institutions like JP Morgan, Bank of America.
It's still so wild that people
Citibank.
worry about that, even though there's never been an instance where their money wasn't safe, even though it's over the threshold.
What do you mean?
Like, there's never been an instance where someone's money just got fucking lost. Like, the government still steps in, and they did in the case of Silicon Valley Bank.
Yeah, but that's rare. Usually, like, banks will fail. Like, from, I think, 2008 to 2015, it was like 500 banks were failing.
Wasn't WAMU?
Washington Mutual was the biggest bank. That's why
Right.
so this is now the second biggest bank failure.
Mm-hmm.
When they say that, it's because Washington Mutual in 2008 was the biggest bank failure.
Right.
So now we're at 3 banks that have failed this year:
Hell yeah.
SVB, Signature Bank, First Republic.
And it looks like Pacific West might follow suit.
Yeah, if you're following along, Pacific West and the other one,
Western Alliance.
Western Alliance, but Pacific West is, I think, in a lot worse shape. They, even just today, because yesterday it was like down about 28%. I think they closed at Even today, it plunged 42%, and they halted trading on it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And the Fed is now, in light of all this, they're trying to establish stronger banking rules so that shit like this doesn't happen again. They're expanding it and trying to make it more, what's the word? Not generalized, but standardized.
Right. We're jumping around a lot.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's so that's 3 banks that failed, and it's interesting. The New York Times pointed this out. In 2008, 25 banks had failed.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so 25 is more than 3, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you crunched the numbers on that. But when adjusted for inflation, the 3 banks that failed this year, it's bigger than those 25 banks failing. So the 3 banks held a total of $532 billion in assets. That's more than the $526 billion held by the 25 banks that collapsed in 2008.
Right.
So it's a pretty big deal. I mean, it's obviously not, that doesn't mean the same thing's going to happen. It's just there's a lot of, these banks have a lot of exposure and risk with these interest rates rising.
Right.
And regional banks especially, it's unclear if it's going to stabilize. And the Fed just did, just yesterday, another 25 points.
Yes.
Hike.
But then Powell also said the banking system is resilient and it is strong. And then literally the next day, 12 hours later, Pacific West and Western Alliance are just kind of like, how do you trust anything that people say?
By the time this comes out, I mean, I'm not going to say, who knows? But it's entirely possible that Pacific West will be gobbled up by a larger bank.
JP Morgan is going to be so effing big.
They already are so effing big. That's the thing. So to even do this, for JP Morgan to even step in and take over this bank, they had to get permission because they had to make an exception, because I think when a bank is responsible for like 10% or more of American deposits, they're not allowed to do this. They're not allowed to step in and buy a bank like this.
And they're now responsible for 10% or more?
Oh, yeah.
How much are they responsible for now?
I think their assets were like $3 trillion. And, it's pretty much orders of magnitude when you're talking. Like, I can't remember it might be Bank of America who's lower than them at like 2-point-something trillion.
Yeah.
Like low 2 trillions.
It's too big.
I mean, Jamie Dimon is going to be, he's going to be more powerful than, Jamie Dimon is the head of JP Morgan Chase.
Yes.
He's going to be more powerful than
President Biden of the United States.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to control so much.
Yeah.
I mean, he already does. It's wild. And if these regional banks keep failing, more and more banks are going to keep gobbling up.
They're probably going to keep failing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because people keep saying like, wow, it's just been a really bad year for banks. And it's like, well, not big banks.
Yeah, quite to the contrary. Yeah, do we want to talk about these rules now?
Yeah.
These stronger oversight rules?
Yeah. What were you saying about it?
Just that they're trying to standardize it more instead of being just, you have a certain set of rules for a bank of this size, and what's his name? Barr is requiring improved liquidity and capital requirements. And then this fucker, the Republican guy, the Republicans, of course, are going like, whoa, this is too much regulation. Like, motherfucker, this just happened and you're already bitching about it being too much regulation?
I also don't know if like the Fed is the best body for all. So the Fed released is like over 100 pages of their analysis of what happened with Silicon Valley Bank and everything. Right. They basically point fingers at everyone. They're like, it was everyone's fault. Congress rolling back a lot of the stuff. If we talk about it we did a big Silicon Valley Bank episode.
Yes.
So a lot of the stuff we talked about, Congress rolling back regulations, blaming bankers, blaming the Fed. But it's weird the way they talk about it. They seem so ill-equipped for all this. Basically, the Fed was doing things. He talks about how, so at the time of Silicon Valley Bank's collapse, it had 31 unaddressed safe and soundness supervisory warnings from the Fed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's triple the average number of peer banks, which is already kind of shocking that the average number of these banks had about 10 supervisory warnings, right? So this is from the American Prospect, I think. This was David Dayen. He was talking about, obviously SVB didn't see these warnings as warnings, but merely as helpful suggestions that could be filed away. The fact that the average number of supervisory warnings is more than 10 suggests that the level of regulatory neglect applies to the entire industry. A culture of ignoring regulatory concerns can be inferred.
And they're also not staffed to deal with this much.
Right.
To enforce these regulations.
Right.
It's all so fucking slow.
So they even wanted to, they didn't even get around to the things they wanted to do to enforce them.
Yeah.
So even though the Fed supervisors first identified interest rate risk deficiencies at SVB in 2020, they issued no formal warnings, only verbal guidance and lower level advisories for the ensuing 2 years. SVB initially thought it would make money from interest rate increases and only changed that view in October 2022. After telling supervisors about this, the supervisors issued one formal warning in November 22 and then planned but never executed a downgrade of the bank's sensitivity to market risk rating.
Good shit. Good job. Great job, team, all around. Well, the good news is these new rules will take years to implement. So it doesn't.
Right.
It's like,
right. They won't be able to effectively mitigate the risk that is ongoing right now that we're like currently living through. Right.
Right.
And a lot of these regional banks seem especially vulnerable. People like Charlie Munger, Bill Ackman, all these people are screaming about the commercial real estate exposure.
The next, because a bunch of them are, exposed to all these bad, are they bad loans or are they just?
I don't think they're necessarily bad loans. I think that the commercial real estate market is just still suffering from COVID.
Yeah.
And hasn't bounced back in a meaningful way. I think work life has changed forever. I mean, there are offices sitting empty or a quarter to half full.
Just fucking turn them into apartments, man. Problem solved.
I don't know.
Yeah, except for that would cost a lot of money to revamp them. It's just an idea. I'm just spitballing here, Oh, well. They'll figure it out. They always do. And if they don't, they'll get bailed out because they always do.
Right.
They'll come out on top.
That's always the way. There's these people who are very against government regulation, government oversight, are always very pro government bailout when they need it.
Big time. Yeah. Bill Ackman, crybaby Bill Ackman, he's one of the worst ones, but he doesn't necessarily, he likes government intervention. He always is like, he just on Twitter over the last couple of days was talking about how the government needs to step in and make sure that these regional banks don't fail. And it's like, I kind of agree, but then I also, I don't know. I don't know enough about it to be like, let them fail. But then, all those fucking people get wiped out.
Well, I mean, I don't think they should. I don't think they should reward risky behavior from.
Right.
But so, in that sense, I don't think they should be like, sure, park all your money in one risky bank. And I mean, not only that, I'm pretty sure that First Republic Bank was doing a lot of the same stuff SVB was to encourage people to keep more money in their bank, right? Oh, don't worry, you don't have to spread out your risk, and for your troubles, we'll give you great rates on mortgages, and we're gonna, small business loans at blah blah,
Well, speaking of the Fed, they raised rates as predicted by 0.25%. And they kind of hinted that basically Powell said a decision on a pause was not made today because at first the market was thinking, oh, whoop-de-doo. They're talking about now this is it for right now. We're going to pause thereafter, but that's not true. He was talking at his news conference that they'll be deciding based on incoming data. They might pause, they might not.
It's always the same fucking story.
I know, man.
This man, a classic man, unwilling to commit. That's fucking Jerome Powell, man. He is. He's a total man, unwilling to commit. Boy, his mouth just keeps getting Jerome
smaller
Powell
and
for the last 2 years has been a guy at a 3-month mark in a relationship, going, I don't know if I'm ready, but like I do like you. No, like I really like you.
He's also kind of an idiot, right? He was tricked by these Russian.
I don't know if he's it's
Anybody could have been duped by these Russian pranksters.
and apparently multiple people have been duped by these Russian
Same pranksters?
Yeah.
No fucking way. Who else?
I don't know, some other. I don't think they were all U.S., but it is just funny that apparently he thought he was talking to Zelensky, and he was giving him updates on the economy and.
Was he
How
on
likely-
television?
No, but I think it's a Zoom call. They have video of him.
What a dork. What a doofus. Also, if you're God, these fucking people when they do something cooler, like when they hacked Bill
That's
Gates.
the thing. Watching it is so lame. It's like
Oh, you just got him to talk about stuff he would have talked
it's like
about
not
anyway.
that funny. It's
Yeah.
like you pranked him into saying the same bullshit about how
Yeah.
a recession could be coming, but there's the same likelihood that we have a soft landing.
You remember those guys who hacked like Elon Musk's Twitter and Bill Gates' Twitter, and all they did was just say like FaZe Clan or whatever. They're fucking gamers. They
Yeah.
just you could have made millions of dollars tweeting anything else, and they fucking didn't. They blew it. Well, we don't need to watch.
Yeah, it's all-
He just says the same shit. My favorite story of the week. Hindenburg, as we all know, if you don't know, they're the research group
Short sellers.
short sellers. That they're not literally short.
Some of them are though. I've been to the Hindenburg headquarters. It's a lot of guys with complex.
Just a bunch of tiny guys running around.
yeah,
Just a bunch of little guys. Just
yeah. Really aggressive guys.
yeah.
I remember I was talking to this one guy, 5'6",
Damn.
and I said, "So this is the short seller place," and he's poking me in the chest.
What gives you the right?
And he said, "Don't."
I'll have you know.
No, but you probably heard about them with first the Adani story was a big story with them.
The Indian company.
Yes, they exposed a lot of stuff with the Indian company, and then the other big one was Jack Dorsey's Block.
Yes.
Yeah, and all the Square stuff and everything.
Yeah. But the big one this week was they came after my distant relative, Carl Icahn. Yeah. Thank you. They accused, pretty hefty accusation. You don't need to pull it up because I got just all the things here. But Carl Icahn, the corporate raider, the guy who's now in his fucking 80s, I think, worth $15 billion, not anymore, but
Now about 9 probably.
probably. Their accusations caused Carl Icahn and IEP is the stock ticker, Icahn Enterprises to drop by 35%. And I will try my best. We'll try our best here to kind of sum up their accusations because they're pretty straightforward. But
Well, maybe before you even do that, explain a little bit like what Hindenburg is. They're short sellers, meaning like they take big bets against these companies,
Yes.
and then they
publish research.
publish all this. Like so, with Adani, I didn't look as much into blocks, but Adani, when you look through the report, I mean, these are detailed. They're looking through their books. I mean, probably over 100 pages of just analysis they're doing on the soundness of the business, any kind of wrongdoings. They go really in depth on this stuff.
Yes. And with that comes credibility so that each subsequent report, people short first and ask questions later. And like, I mean, this is kind of the case here. I remember when Citron, another big short selling group, used to have the same kind of sway, but they've kind of lost not credibility, but they're just
through the GameStop, or was
Yeah.
that Citron? No, Citadel maybe, or
Citron, I think, I can't remember if they were, and they announced they were short. They might have been long GameStop, but Citron's I fucking hate that guy, Andrew Left.
but so Hindenburg is levying some pretty heavy accusations
Yes.
towards Icahn Enterprises.
Essentially saying that it's acting kind of like a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Carl Icahn and his son Brent, I think. Can you name your son Brent?
Come on, dude.
Come on, dude. Carl.
It's either Blanket or
It's either Blanket or Apple. What's the other kid's name?
no, that's
Parrot.
Gwyneth Paltrow's kid.
Paris. Oh, that's right. So Carl and his son own about 85% of Icahn Enterprises. And so right off the bat, Hindenburg is accusing them of overinflating it's a holding company. So they own a bunch of shit. And they're saying that Icahn Enterprises trades at a 218% premium to their net asset values, which is more than double the next highest fund that they found. And some of them they compared Dan Loeb's, I can't remember the name of his fund, but Bill Ackman. Those guys trade at a discount to their NAV.
But so currently, things are pretty good at Icahn Enterprises, right? Like their investors, don't they get pretty high dividends and everything?
Yes. So that is
like outside of this, everything was looking pretty good for.
Everything was looking kind of rosy. Yeah. I actually remember years ago when Carl Icahn took a stake in Netflix, and I fucking was like, oh, damn it, because the stock started to jump, and then it went up like 10x from there.
Because usually this stuff comes out after it all implodes, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But at the time, Icahn Enterprises shot up to like 140 something per share. But anyway, so Icahn Enterprises has the largest dividend out there.
15%.
I think it's just about 15.8% annual dividend. And part of their appeal, part of the appeal of the company is that, yeah, they've got the largest dividend you can get, and you get to like invest alongside the legendary Carl Icahn.
Titan of industry.
An absolute fucking titan of industry. But so that dividend is possible in part because Carl Icahn takes his dividend. Remember, he owns 85% of the company. He takes his dividend in the form of more units, more shares of the company. But they don't have the cash flow. That's another part of Hindenburg's report, is that if you look at their cash flow from the last 10 years, it's just been on a decline. So they don't have the cash flow necessary to support the remaining 15% of the shares to issue the cash dividend to shareholders. So what do? They issue more stock to get cash to pay. They get new investors to come in.
Right.
To then pay the existing investors, which is by definition a Ponzi scheme. And they have sold...
Invented by an Italian.
We can't forget that. Arguably the biggest contribution to the world since spaghetti.
That's right.
And
the Italians are cooking up something else. So,
what are you guys cooking up?
I'll just stay tuned.
Oh, wow. I'm very excited. Digital pizza crust. So they've done... Icahn Enterprises has done at the market offerings, which is where they sell stock at the current prevailing market price, of $1.7 billion worth since 2019. And to quote Hindenburg, in brief, Icahn has been using money taken in from new investors to pay out dividends to old investors. But Icahn isn't the only one that they're implicating in this. They're also wagging the finger at investment bank Jefferies, which is the only investment bank that covers Carl Icahn Enterprises. Interesting. And quizzically, they've had a buy rating on it since forever, and they even say that its dividend will be safe, quote, into perpetuity. Damn, that sounds irresponsible and negligent, don't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, we're the only bank covering it, and no, that's totally safe. Their dividend's going to be fucking safe forever. It's totally fine. And we're also the bank handling the sale of the units, so no, that's totally cool. And guess what? In 2011, you'll never guess who bailed out Jefferies.
I have a feeling it was Icahn.
It was Carl Icahn. He bailed them out via bonds. He bought some of they were like distressed or whatever, and Carl Icahn swooped in and saved the day.
Jefferies sounds like a suit store for little boys.
It totally does.
Welcome to Jefferies.
Welcome to Jefferies. Wow, you look cute, little man. What is it, your bar mitzvah? Yes, sir.
What are you looking for today, blanket?
I'm looking for. I work at Hindenburg. I'm not a little boy. I'm a small man.
Me just at 25, like, please, Jeffrey, you have to make me a suit. I know I'm too big.
So Hindenburg goes on to say that their $5.6 billion in net asset values is inflated at least 25%, citing how they own. So one of the things that they point out is that they own 90% of a meat packaging business. Can't remember the name of it, but they valued it at $243 million, despite the company being currently valued at $89 million. So they're just blatantly saying, oh, yeah, we're marking it, fucking 3 times as much as it's actually worth.
They've crunched the numbers.
They've crunched the numbers.
And
They
those
also
numbers are good.
And the numbers are good. They reported $455 million in real estate holdings that have maintained stable value for years, despite declining net income in those same assets, and despite one of them being the fucking Trump Plaza in Atlantic City that was demolished in 2020.
Well, that vacant land in AC is going to be worth
it's worth a lot of money. The sky, what do they call that? The sky rights?
I don't know.
Because that's how Trump made a ton of his money, buying real estate and then like
selling
the sky rights or something. It's a thing, trust me. So they're not the only ones who noticed that there was a bit of question marks going on. So in January of 2020, UBS dropped coverage of Icahn Enterprises, saying that there was a lack of transparency and their marks were divergent from their public market values. Huh. So it seems like Hindenburg really nailed it.
Exposed.
They also point out that they've got a ton of debt that they can only refinance. They can't take on new debt, and refinancing currently with interest rates as high as they are puts them in a bit of a pickle. Not only that, finally, Carl Icahn, according to Hindenburg, personally has about 60% of his his Icahn Enterprises holdings. About 60% of it is pledged for personal margin loans. So basically, he's borrowing against his own shares. But the problem with that,
like most rich people,
those loans are contingent upon the stock price staying above a certain threshold.
Right.
And what happens when you drop below that? Well, the person, the institution, the entity lending you the money against your shares is likely going to panic because, hey, what if that shit goes to zero? That's the leverage that we're holding against the loans that we've given you. You get margin called. But we don't know, shareholders don't know the terms of those loans. So there's no telling, like, at what point is he going to have to liquidate, which would further affect the price of Icahn Enterprises. So it's all just one big fucking mess. And my message to Carl Icahn is just quit. You're like fucking 90 years old.
Oh, yeah. It's
Just
a fucking sickness,
quit.
dude.
Yeah.
It's fucking sickness.
Just say, hey, you know what? They got me. And I'm just going to bow out. I'm going to pass it off to my brilliant son, Brent.
That's the real loser in all this.
Brent?
Going, fuck. Shit was good when daddy was around.
Yeah. Oh, boy. But
Now he's got to steer the ship. Fuck.
and it's taking on
Just
water.
your liver spotted dad. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Also, meat packaging. Carl Icahn getting into fucking meat packaging.
That's the problem too. You got this old ass dude like, meat packaging is always safe.
Yeah. And fucking the Trump Plaza. Criminy. God, dude.
In AC?
In Atlantic City. Oh, he's lost his touch. He used to, didn't he buy Tupperware or something? No. He bought, what was the big one? The airline?
He bought fucking, this is killing me.
Who cares? We'll figure it out.
He also bought a bunch of Apple during.
Yes, he did buy a bunch of Apple. He is the reason why Apple did a cash dividend.
Yeah.
He pressured, so, he does, his whole modus operandi, is that right? Did I get that right?
Yeah, his whole MO.
Fuck yes. Is shareholder value and fighting for the shareholder. And he's been...
often clashing with labor.
Yes.
And
with boards. Everybody hates the guy.
The big story with we can't think of the name, but the airline, he fired a bunch of the airline employees and was just like...
In order to save the airline.
Yeah.
This needed to happen. But he pushed Tim Cook and the board of directors at Apple to take their giant treasure chest of cash and start doing buybacks and dividends. And they did. And he's currently in fights with some DNA sequencing company called Illumina. I don't know what he's doing with them, but that's been making headlines too. Yeah. Fake a heart attack, dude. Get out of it. Everybody will be like, oh no. And
I'll never be able to understand being in your 80s, having billions of dollars.
What else are you gonna do if you've been doing that your whole life? The fucking crossword puzzle?
No, what? You have billions of dollars, and your idea of a good life is crossword puzzle.
No, I'm saying that's what he's probably thinking.
You know what?
Well, what else am I gonna do?
I'd be on a fucking boat.
Yeah, for sure. I'd be on a farm with like 100 dogs.
Anything.
Yeah.
That's what, honestly, it's like one of the reasons that I'm having a hard time watching the Succession season.
Oh yeah.
It's like, who cares? Take the fucking money, you absolute morons.
Yeah.
It's just like, I know we're supposed to be like, oh, but
Business.
yeah,
going
and
on.
they want to fill their dad's shoes and build a media empire. It's just like, I can't relate in any way.
Yeah, don't fill your dad's shoes. Just fucking, I don't know, fill them with cement and
It's
dump them in
fucking
the lake.
pathological.
Yeah. Truly, these people have a sickness, but not us.
We have a sickness, but it's a different kind.
Yeah. Speaking of sickness and billionaires.
Oh, wait.
Well, my favorite guy, Stan Druckenmiller, because I don't think that he's got a sickness. He's just a cool guy. But Stan Druckenmiller is a trader and a hedge fund guy, and he's like retired. But he was giving a speech at USC this week and was talking about the how the fiscal recklessness of the last decade has been like watching a horror movie unfold. And his comparison, he said, because everybody's worried about the debt ceiling coming in June 1st is the deadline that Janet Yellen
said, yeah, it's going to come quicker than she thought. June 1st, we could probably hit it.
Going to come quicker than she thought. Sounds like my ex-wife referring to me. Fuck, God, can we take that again?
Yeah, she said it's going to come quicker than we thought.
Yeah, sounds like my ex-wife. Fuck, I did it again. You get what I'm saying.
Your wife came quickly.
No, me.
What do you want to say?
Oh, dude, it's been, oh man, I'm tired. You know, it's because I haven't had breakfast.
You're insane.
Yeah, I know that.
Just get your act together.
Yeah. So he was comparing the debt ceiling and the fiscal spending to worrying about whether a 30-foot wave will damage the pier when you know there's a 200-foot tsunami just 10 miles out. He's referencing the Congress budget of the Congress Budget Oversight Committee or whatever, their own report that by 2040, 100% of tax revenue is going to go toward entitlements like Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, basically spending on seniors. Will account for 100% of. Is that going to be us? Are we going to be seniors by 2040?
We'll be dead, pal. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you're right.
Don't worry your pretty little head about all this.
All these seniors are going to die, though, right?
We're all going to die.
I know, but them sooner than us, God willing.
It'll probably all be about the same time in like 2035.
Yeah.
I'd imagine.
Except for my mom. May she live forever.
Yeah. Our
'Cause
moms will make it.
Yeah, our moms will make it. But he was referencing a pretty terrifying thing that he estimates, Stan Druckenmiller estimates that the actual U.S. debt is closer to $200 trillion, not the official $31.4 trillion. That's scary. But at that point, it's kind of like when you owe the bank $1 million, you've got a problem. But when you owe the bank $1 billion, the bank has a problem. I don't know who's who in this situation.
Right.
But
If I owe the bank $1 million, the bank owns me.
Yeah.
If I owe the bank $1 billion, I own the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who owns the U.S. when we've got a $200 trillion debt? Like at what point it's all...
I don't think this... I mean, I know you love him and stuff.
You don't think he's right?
No, and I don't think he really has like a good grasp of how government spending works and everything.
That's the thing is there are so many...
People have been crying about this whole thing about not being able to fund Social Security since...
Forever.
Yeah. The debt ceiling and everything, it's a made-up thing.
Yeah.
It's not a real thing. They're always going to... Well, I mean, there have been times where they let it lapse briefly. They likely will figure out a new budget.
It's just political brinkmanship.
Traders like this love to fucking do this shit. I mean, they like their whole thing. They make their bones by...
You think that he's trying to stir up shit to freak out the market?
No. I think they love to stay relevant. They love to go on fucking TV and have a fucking thing to say.
That's a good point. I
mean, Michael Burry loves his fucking...
Oh, he loves it.
He loves his whole persona. He's been right once.
Yeah. He loves his Twitter
It was a
account.
big once,
Yeah.
you know.
He's been right other times, but
Sure.
smaller, to a smaller extent.
But these guys' whole thing is like being right once in a while and making a big bet.
yeah.
And then so we have to listen to what they say about everything.
Yeah.
We have to hear their opinion about.
Well, should we get into...
We gotta.
We got to get into what? AI? What do we want to talk about?
While we were away,
Joe Byron?
Joe Byron announced he's running again.
Yeah. Doesn't he call himself Brandon now?
No.
Like at the White House Correspondents' Dinner? I think he referred to himself as Brandon.
Oh, I mean, to be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He put on his glasses and was like, Brandon's coming.
Dark Brandon.
Dark Brandon.
Dark
He
Brandon.
calls himself Dark Brandon.
I don't even think he understands the Dark Brandon meme. Like, that was in response to people calling him Dark Brandon when he started doing, like, it was like people on the left were calling him based for doing things like the student loan
Oh, right.
forgiveness, anything that they agreed with. They were like, Dark Brandon is coming. There was a weird period where it seemed like he was getting a lot of shots of whatever adrenaline or amphetamines they've got him on, that cocktail. It seems like maybe they hit him too many times and he was going nuts. He was like,
At the White House Correspondents' Dinner?
no. There was I mean, I'm sure they hit him with it at that point, but what?
His face. Like, his fucking
Oh,
face.
I mean, dude, since he announced, now whenever I'm on YouTube, I get ads for him asking for money, donate to my campaign.
Uh-huh.
And it's just that, like, right away, hello. And you're like, God damn, dude.
Yeah, he really looks like a fucking crypt keeper. He's just... He's almost
If
on
he
the
wins
level-
again, he will be so old. I think
he will die in office. Bernie Sanders came out and said he's not too old. Yeah, I mean, I get it. He's got to say that, but fuck, man. I mean, this guy is...
It's got to be kind of weird too. At this point, it's like 50-50. Your vote for Biden is kind of a vote for Kamala Harris.
Is he gonna? Did he choose her again as?
I don't
running
know.
mate?
I
Oh,
mean,
man,
it
come
would
on.
be funny if they kicked her to the curb, but
In favor of who? Who would you like to see?
I mean, if he's gonna die, let Bernie be his VP.
Yeah, why not?
But I mean, look, he does not. So people have been releasing polls. NBC News did one where, I mean, it's pretty shocking. So the first thing is his job approval as president has dropped to 41%, 30% among independents. Just 38% approve of the president's handling of the economy. He trails a generic Republican by 6 points. Among that means just like head to head against any Republican.
Jesus, that's terrible.
With 41% saying they'd definitely or probably vote for Biden versus 47% who said they'd vote for the GOP candidate. And then this is probably the worst part. 70% of all Americans, including 51% of Democrats, don't want Biden to run for president in 2024.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
With nearly half of these respondents citing what factor do you think as the major
His age.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fucking ancient.
Yeah. So, I mean, with all the reports and everything, this was probably right around the time that they started reporting on Dianne Feinstein going senile.
Yeah.
Also, at this point, I mean, I've said this before, but this is fucking elder abuse. Let the man fucking just walk around in slippers. You know, I mean, just...
Let him walk around in slippers.
I mean, it's just like...
I want to know what drug cocktails they're giving him, because I would like to try them. Can you imagine us on the shit that they're giving Biden? We'd be like, 22.
I would be president by...
Yeah?
I always say, if I like...
If you tried modafinil, you'd be...
If I actually committed to taking Adderall every day for...
Oh, buddy, no. It would not be what you think.
Yeah,
You'd
but-
just be jerking off in front of the computer.
I know,
for
but if I could...
5 hours.
No, because I didn't have that problem. My problem was that like it starts to turn on me.
In what way?
Oh, just, you know, well, you can't sleep and, you know, it makes you depressed. You have trouble eating. So, but if I could capture that, like that first week of taking Adderall,
Mhm.
you know, and it's just like, oh, if I could get that I'd be president in 2036.
I remember one of my best delusions on Adderall was thinking I could be president. And I laid out, I'm like, all you got to do is run for mayor. Boom, done. Sorry, city council first, done. Mayor, done. From there, easy step to either Congress or senator. Then from there,
I mean, that's
I was like
kind of how it
19, and
works.
I was like, I could do that, man. That's the most meaningful thing that I could do with my life, to like positively have an impact on the world. Now it's this.
Also, I want to point out, because a lot of people, Republicans and people, on the left have been talking, a lot about how the DNC, the Democratic National Convention, is talking about how they are, they're not going to host primary debates.
Yeah, because they already chose their guy, Dark Brandon.
Yeah, but people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and people on the left are like, this is fascism or whatever the fuck. But that's just commonplace for when there's an incumbent president. Yeah. They did not do that for Obama. They did not do that for Clinton.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Bush.
sure Republicans did not do that either.
Yeah, no kidding.
And that's not to say I would like it if they did, and to treat other candidates seriously if they want to run. There's a big push to make it seem like anyone running, like Marianne Williamson, is just a absolute crazy person, and she's just like a lady with her crystal ball or whatever. But I don't think that's the case, and I'd love it if they actually hosted debates. But
yeah, I would not want to see Joe Biden debate. Actually, it doesn't matter how bad he would do; they would still fucking say like, "Wow, he won! Can you believe it?"
Right. I mean, look, the plan is the same as it was in 2020. We know you're not excited about Biden, but it's better than the alternative. You don't want the alternative. Things will get much worse if you don't vote for the shitty candidate. And we'll see if that's enough for 2024.
It's going to be a long couple of years, man. Well,
who knows?
I know. Do you think it's going to be better? Let's be optimistic. It's going to be better. Yeah, why not? Speaking of things getting better, AI, man.
Oh, well, we forgot that. So the Republicans released an AI attack ad.
Oh, on Joe Biden?
On Joe Biden.
Let's see it. Let's watch it. Oh, boy, this should be good. Here we go.
Now call the 2024 presidential race for Joe Biden.
This morning, an emboldened China invades Taiwan.
Jesus.
Financial markets are in free fall as 500 regional banks.
What if
shut
financial
their doors.
systems
Border
crumble?
agents were overrun by a surge of
What if
80,000 illegal
our
jet
border
trains.
is gone?
The city of San Francisco this
What
morning.
if crime worsens? Whoa.
Fentanyl crisis.
Who's in charge here? It feels
Wait,
like the
pause
train
it.
is coming off
They
the
had
track.
an AI generated like Chad MS-13.
Yeah, he has
Remember?
MS-13.
Look at him, man. He's like,
What if this guy's roaming the street?
oh, dude. The whole thing. Yeah, well, the whole thing. What prompt did they put in there? Hot gang guy? Hot gang guy with MS-13 tattooed on his forehead?
Damn, dude.
Yeah,
it's definitely like a compelling message, right? Like, I mean, that's their whole thing. The
Yeah,
right's
what if-
whole thing is, when you hear them talk about cities and everything, it's like, it's a fucking mess. I mean,
that's not Joe Biden's fault. Is it?
but they're not really a mess comparatively. Like when you look at crime rates in New York City or whatever, comparatively, when you're looking at rates, not amount, because there's a way higher population in New York, they're either comparable or much lower.
To Republican cities? Or just smaller cities?
Like smaller.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's not really the truth. And now it's so easy to make things go viral and go, we were just talking about that. I can't remember his name. The guy who was killed in New York on the subway, Jordan Neely.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Just happened.
Yeah. And I mean, so there was a guy who was killed on an uptown train in New York. This was just this week. He was put in a headlock by a 24-year-old Marine from Long Island. And it's like, I think that's a product of all these people. Everyone's so scared. Like, and I think it's like, oh my God, this is a crazy person from,
What is?
it's my foot.
Oh.
It's a crazy person from the city. He's going to kill us all.
Homeless. Well, because he wigged out on the train, and then this guy freaked out and choked him out.
He was talking about how he didn't have food and water and a place to live.
Yeah.
And I think he threw his jacket on the ground. I mean, I've been around a lot of people freaking out. I don't think that
Yeah, same.
is any reason to put them in a chokehold and kill them.
Yeah. Well, if we get more Joe Biden, we'll get more all of the above. Crime and drugs. Give me the drugs. Get us more drugs. Well, we still got AI. Fuck. You had Microsoft, Meta, Google, Amazon. They all mentioned AI over 168 times on their recent conference calls. Chegg, did you see Chegg's thing?
What happened?
They mentioned AI. They said that AI is killing them, and their stock dropped like 40% just immediately. Because like apparently more college kids are using AI as study aids than their shit, which makes sense.
Does it though? AI gets a lot of shit wrong.
That's another thing is it's outdated. Well, depending on what you're studying, I guess, because the ChatGPT only goes up to like 2021, right?
I don't know.
Isn't it? Oh, I thought that it was up to 2021.
I didn't say it's not. I said I don't know.
Oh, yeah. And then this fucking Google guy, the Godfather of AI. Although then the article goes on to talk about how there are multiple godfathers of AI. He's leaving.
His name is Geoffrey Hinton. It's like an artificial intelligence pioneer. He was at University of Toronto for a long time, and then an AI company he made with, I believe, some students of his got bought by Google, and he's been working at Google.
But now he's saying he regrets all these fucking guys. Like, if they knew the potential for it being bad, why? I guess if you got to be the first to do it, you might as well be the first.
Well, he actually talks about it. He said he brings up Oppenheimer,
right,
who was responsible for the nuclear weapons program.
Oppenheimer.
Yeah, he was talking about, how if you have this opportunity to do beautiful things with science, you still want to do it. And he also, I don't think he thought I think he knew there was a risk, right? But it said until last year, he said Google acted as a proper steward for the technology, careful not to release something that might cause harm. But he blames this arms race, basically. Now that Microsoft has augmented its Bing search engine with a chatbot challenging Google's core business, Google is racing to deploy the same kind of technology that tech giants are locked in a competition that might be impossible to stop. And, I find it, so this has been happening quite a bit. I'm sure you guys all remember there was a letter that a bunch of AI professionals signed about
halting,
doing a 6-month pause.
But that would just give China the opportunity to surpass us, according to some of these people.
These things are going to be pretty hard to implement, right? That's the big thing. It's not like nuclear arms, which again is still hard to implement. But when you're doing something like that, you have to obtain materials that are quite difficult to get, right? And you can kind of control the output of those sources and everything. How are you going to stop labs from working on AI?
Right.
But yeah, so he didn't sign on to those. He didn't sign on to any of those letters. He didn't want to trash Google while he was still working there. And then he told them he was going to be leaving for these reasons and everything. But I do find him interesting. So apparently he was working at an American university first. Oh, Carnegie Mellon. He was working at Carnegie Mellon in the 80s. But at that time, all of the AI research was coming from the Pentagon, the Defense Department. And he was like, I don't want to be working. That's when he made the shift to go work in Canada.
The thing about AI that worries me is bioweapons. Like telling the AI to, I mean, he doesn't, I think he refers to it, but he talks about how they can start to, basically one AI can be like 10,000 people doing research, and then that one talks to another AI and they just exponentially fucking blow up. But all it takes is one bad actor to ask the AI to, or like Putin. Well, I guess, yeah, that'd be the definition of a bad actor. Like, I think he references in the article about what if someone like that were to say, make me more powerful, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just the potential for them to use AI to make, yeah, like I said, like a bioweapon that could then be synthesized using fucking 3D printers or whatever. That's the thing that scares the shit out of me.
That is pretty scary.
That is pretty scary. A new, highly addictive Coca-Cola.
Yeah, his whole thing. That's his whole thing. He's like, I don't know how. There's no way to prevent bad actors from using this in a bad way. It's funny. It's just kind of tragic. He had this quote about. He said, "I console myself with the normal excuse. If I hadn't done it, somebody else would have."
And at least he acknowledges that it's like the normal excuse.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably right. It's not like.
Yeah, so it would. All of this would. That's like the inevitable outcome of all of this is. Fucking God. I'm just tired of being at the whim of a few big fucking tech nerd guys.
Yeah.
You know? Truly. Like, I'm sick of being. It's like, all right, this is. Even just these CEOs talking about it. It's all of a sudden. They weren't talking about it at all a year ago. And then all of a sudden, this company did it, and now we got to all
right. Well, that's
everything.
They talk about this stuff, and that's what I find so funny. He's talking about, in 2012, in 2015. I'm like, I didn't even know it was a thing in 2015. I didn't I heard about it a couple years ago.
Yeah, or like that guy I can't remember his name, but there was that contest that they do every year, and he won it in like 2012, 2011. And then it's been in development ever since, and now he went on to work at OpenAI with Sam Altman and gave birth to this shit.
Yeah.
Fucking shit.
But now he's scared about how fast it's happening, and there's no slogan. He said, "Look at how it was 5 years ago, and how it is now. Take the difference and propagate it forwards." That's scary. So it's just going to continue to get more and more. It's going to happen at such an alarming rate. So, I mean, I'd like to go more in depth and talk about, because, I mean, it's right now the U.S., European Union, and China, and I'm sure everywhere, is doing rule proposals for the regulation of AI. And like in the Biden administration has basically asked for comment on what people think should be in these regulations and everything. And it's just like, by the time you get anything on the books, it's going to become a whole new thing. You guys aren't going to be able to anticipate any of this. You guys move so slowly, and they're so behind the ball at this point. I mean, obviously, I hope that stuff gets put in place that makes sense and protects people, not only, safety wise, but also artists and IP problems.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
yes.
People's jobs and livelihoods, and hopefully there's a way to negotiate a sensible way forward.
Yeah.
But I don't have high hopes for that.
Oh, and especially when you look at the lawmakers talking to the TikTok guy, their grasp on the internet and technology is tenuous at best.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, well, at least we got the oldest man in the world at the helm.
I mean, yeah, honestly, imagine like I want to hear what he has to say about AI.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
But
in a debate,
that shouldn't be unreasable. With everything,
of course not.
Right. But I do think there's a lot of people who would be like, "Don't be unfair. Don't be mean."
No, I want to be mean.
But it's not mean. It's like he's doing what an old person is supposed to do, which is be like 86 and out of touch.
And eat double chocolate ice cream. Also, what a dog shit. Come on, dude. Cookies and cream. Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah, I don't feel great about
But I'm still net positive, I think.
Net positive on what?
On just everything. I know we get negative on here a lot, but I am overall positive on how society will
on
progress.
Human spirit.
Yes.
The human.
Yeah. On our utilization of artificial intelligence to be overall a boon to society and not and culture and not a detriment. If people at the helm can get their frigging act together.
I do have to say, I go back and forth on the AI thing where I'm like impressed or just like, oh, this is bullshit.
Yeah. Not even terrified. Just like impressed or this sucks.
Oh, I mean, whenever I'm impressed, I feel like there's a sense of being terrified. And then whenever I'm like, oh, this sucks, I'm like, maybe. Just because, all these companies implementing these, the Spotify DJ, you're like,
oh, yeah, remember
you're
that?
like, oh, cool, they're doing it. And then you're like, this sucks.
Yeah, it's just another iteration of Siri, which still fucking sucks. I still will ask Siri a basic question. And it's like, I just found this on Google. And it's like, I'm not asking you to Google for me.
But then on the other hand, there are, to stick with like Spotify and music, there were people putting up songs where you could not tell that it wasn't the artist.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, that's kind of wild.
Yeah. I've been getting a lot of shit where it's like Kanye singing Taylor Swift.
Now that's
evocative. That makes me, wow. Anyway, should we wrap it up? What do you think?
I think we have to.
Yeah. We got a long day ahead of us. We're a third of the way there. Gonna get a tuna sandwich.
Are we going for sandwiches?
Well, yeah. What else are we gonna do?
Hey, I love a sandwich.
Yeah, and then I'm getting Ethiopian food tonight.
Oh, dude, I went to one recently. Really fucked that shit up. It was great.
Yeah. Did you
Just
get the
slopping
meat or
shit
did
up
you
with the
just
bread?
get the
No,
yeah.
like veggies.
What's the bread called? Spongy pancake.
It's not dal, is it?
I don't know.
Naan? No.
No, it's not naan, dude. If you know, leave it in the comments.
If you know what the bread is called.
If you know what the Ethiopian bread is called, it's probably not even bread. It's technically something else. We'll see you in After Hours.
We love you. Bye.
This week on After Hours.
I'm like getting ready to start freaking out at him, and he was like, do you mind if we have a quick chat? Truly, I'm starting to think like maybe I did something to you. I'm like, did I fuck your girlfriend? Like, why are you fucking
Did you
treating
say
me
that?
I was like, why are you treating me like this?
Because maybe an Italian fucked his girlfriend.
We should just become drug dealers. Wouldn't that be fucking sick?
Or just multivitamins. Prenatal vitamins.
Because
Isn't that what we were going to do?
But drugs would be more fun. We should run drugs for the CIA. I want to move back to New Jersey and just like get like low level into the mafia.
But then all it takes is the guy being in a bad mood. He's Joe Pesci mode. And he's like, you think you're a clown? Make me laugh, clown, or whatever.
I didn't mean any of that, Joey.
I'll suck you off right now. I swear I'm sorry.
I'd be good at it.
Sucking off?
That too, but...
Sign up on tmgstudios.tv to watch the full bonus episode.